A new report warns more than half of the U.S. could face dangerous blackouts and outages this winter. Regulators from the North American Electric Reliability Corporation say the nation's power grid is not up to the challenge of rapidly rising energy demands amid increasingly severe winter storms and extreme cold. The strain could cause the system to snap, setting parts of the country up for a repeat of last year's energy emergencies. Joining us now is Jim Matheson, the CEO of the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association, representing 900 local electricity providers. He's also a former member of Congress, having served in the U.S. House as a Democrat from Utah from 2001 to 2015. Jim, great to have you. What are some of the factors that have contributed to the current lack of energy resources and preparedness?
Well, the biggest factor is we're using more and more electricity as a country. Think of all the devices we all use every day now, cloud computing, AI, that's all using more and more electricity. At the same time, we haven't been replacing it with building more capacity to generate electricity. In fact, we've been closing down a lot of the power plants that had useful life left in them, both gas plants and coal plants, and that means we're digging a deeper hole. We're trying to replace it somewhat with renewables, which have a role to play, but listen, wind doesn't blow 24 hours a day, sun doesn't shine 24 hours a day. You need to make sure you have that always available generating capacity during these peak moments. And that's really the danger we see coming into this winter is demand's growing, supply hasn't kept up.
Jim, the report exposes a system built, as you mentioned, high demand during summer heat. Let's talk about what has to happen in order for the grid to function effectively through increasingly severe winter weather.
Well, there's a couple of things. One is in the winter, compared to summer peak and winter peak, there's a lot more need for natural gas to heat homes. And natural gas is an important part of how we make electricity in this country. So in the summer, plenty of gas to make electricity. In the winter, not so much. And the pipelines are constrained as well. So we need to increase our pipeline capacity to deliver more natural gas during these peak winter months. We also got to make sure these extreme cold situations that the equipment is, for lack of a better term, insulated or weatherized so it can handle those operations in the cold. We do that up in the Dakotas, but as we learned 2 years ago in Texas, the equipment wasn't prepared for those extreme weather conditions, and a lot of the equipment failed as a result.
And Jim, some, including the group you represent, argue tough new emissions rules proposed by the EPA will further destabilize the system. And then others argue the proposal could ultimately strengthen the grid by bringing new technologies to market. Explain that disconnect to us.
Well, the EPA has made proposals that effectively are going to shut down significant amounts of coal and natural gas in this country. They claim that there are technologies that should be available by the year 2031 to help make those plants continue to run, but those technologies aren't ready to go. The EPA is not thinking about reliability of the electric grid at all when they make these regulations. We think they've stepped outside their authority within the Clean Air Act as given to them by Congress, and you can't rely on hope as a strategy, and they're hoping these new technologies develop, but when you mandate you have to use technologies that aren't viable today, that's bad public policy. And you bet we're going to speak out about that because our job, the 900 electric co-ops I represent, their job is to keep the lights on every day. That's their mission. That's what they're all about. And we're going to act on their behalf to make sure they get to keep doing that.
All right, Jim Matheson, thank you.
Thank you.